In this video, we're going to be looking at what's being done by the utilities to protect themselves against a potential Carrington event. Surviving a Carrington level solar flare, safeguarding our internet, electricity grid and other utilities. Thanks to modern advancements in technology and strategic planning, we can protect our electricity grid, internet and the essential utilities they power. This is how our infrastructure can survive a Carrington level solar storm. As mentioned in previous videos, the impact of a Carrington level solar flare on the electricity grid, internet and other utilities could be catastrophic. Geomagnetic storms can cause voltage instability, transformer damage and blackouts. This not only affects the electricity grid but also disrupts internet services, water supplies, gas distribution, telecommunications systems that rely on electricity. So how do we protect our grid, internet and utilities from such events? Here are some of the strategies already in place where we need to implement further. Protecting the internet. The internet is vital for communications, business and everyday life. Here's how we can protect it. Data centers should be equipped with backup generators, battery systems, fiber optic cables, which are less susceptible to electromagnetic interference, are increasingly used for internet infrastructure. Additionally, distribution of data storage and cloud services provide redundancy, ensuring data is not lost even if one location is affected. Protecting water supply systems. Water supply systems are critical and highly dependent on electricity. Here's how we can protect them. Ensuring water treatment plants and pumping stations have backup power sources such as diesel generators and solar panels is essential. Additionally, smart water management systems can help detect and respond to disruptions quickly. Protecting gas distribution. Gas distribution networks also rely on electricity for monitoring and control. Installing surge protection and backup power systems at key points in the gas distribution network can help maintain service during a solar storm. Manual overrides and robust safety protocols ensure gas flow can be managed and even without electronic control systems. Protecting telecommunications. Telecommunications are vital for coordination during and after a solar storm. Telecom towers, data centers should be equipped with backup generators, battery systems, hardened infrastructure, and satellite communications can provide redundancy and ensure communication lines remain open. In addition to this, when all else fails, ham radio is there to be prepared for any emergency. The UK's electrical grid, like many others around the world, has been making efforts against geomagnetic disturbances, such as a Carrington event. However, assessing whether these efforts are enough involves examining several factors. Let's take a look at the current measures that they're working on. Utilities have been working on the reliance of transformers, which have been particularly vulnerable to geomagnetic induced currents. This includes using materials and designs that can better withstand such currents. Upgrades to the grid infrastructure include installing advanced sensors and monitoring systems to detect and manage geomagnetic induced currents. The UK also collaborates with agencies such as the Met Office, which provides space weather forecasts and warnings. This allows grid operators to take preemptive measures during solar storms. During periods of heightened geomagnetic activity, grid operators can reduce loads or temporarily shut down vulnerable components to prevent damage. The UK government and regulatory bodies such as Ofgem have been involved in setting standards and guidelines for grid resilience against geomagnetic disturbances. The UK participates in international efforts to study and mitigate space weather impacts, sharing data and best practices with other countries and organisations. Strengthening the physical infrastructure is critical. This includes installing surge protectors using materials less susceptible to geomagnetic currents and reinforcing transformers. Decentralizing power sources like solar and wind can reduce dependence on the main grid. Implementing advanced monitoring systems helps detect solar flare activity. Space weather forecasting allows grid operators to take preemptive actions, such as adjusting the load on the grid and temporarily shutting down vulnerable components. Battery backups at substations. As I showed you in my last video, battery backups at substations are already being installed to provide immediate power in the event of a disruption. These batteries ensure critical systems remain operational and help stabilise the grid during geomagnetic disturbances. Clearly, the utilities, especially the electric companies, have made great strides. However, further work is required. Find out in my next video just what more work they need to do. And for those of you that can't wait, there's some clues in the tune at the end of this video. And with that being said, catch you on the air.
Major Carrington event, solar flare from the sun. Darkness looms over us, let's prepare before we run. Electrical grid at stake, lights out in the night. Power down the world we know, we gotta do it right. Solar dream, solar beam, saving power is our theme. Wind farms shine with light, energy for day and night. Hydrocurrents flow, batteries in tow. Localize the grid before the sparks blow. Working day and night, harnessing the light. Tech to save us all, preventing the fall. Solar dream, solar beam, saving power is our theme. Wind farms shine with light, energy for day and night. Hydrocurrents flow, batteries in tow. Localize the grid before the sparks blow. Working day and night, harnessing the light. Tech to save us all, preventing the fall.